Life has a way of testing our limits. Whether it's facing unexpected challenges, dealing with failure, or navigating personal hardships, it can sometimes feel like we are carrying the weight of the world on our shoulders. During these difficult times, we tend to be our harshest critics. But what if, instead of berating ourselves, we chose to respond with kindness and compassion? What if we could find peace within ourselves, even in the midst of chaos? The key lies in self-compassion. Self-compassion is the practice of treating ourselves with the same kindness, care, and understanding that we would offer a close friend. It involves being gentle with ourselves when we struggle, instead of letting self-criticism take over. In this video, we will explore how to practice self-compassion during difficult times, and how it can lead to greater emotional resilience, peace, and healing. Let's begin by understanding the core concept of self-compassion. The first step in cultivating self-compassion is acknowledging your pain without judgment. Too often, when we face adversity, we try to suppress our feelings, thinking that doing so will make them go away. However, the first step toward healing is allowing ourselves to feel what we're going through. Whether it's sadness, frustration, or anxiety, these emotions are valid. Instead of pushing them aside, give yourself permission to experience them without judgment. This means not criticizing yourself for feeling weak or incapable, but instead accepting your emotions as part of your human experience. By acknowledging your emotions without judgment, you create the space to process and understand them. This step is essential in practicing self-compassion because it helps you build a healthy relationship with your emotions. When you allow yourself to feel, rather than suppress, you give yourself the opportunity to heal and grow stronger. Recognizing your pain allows you to respond to it with kindness, instead of frustration. The second step is talking to yourself with kindness. How often do you speak to yourself in a harsh or critical way when things go wrong? Our inner dialogue can be incredibly self-destructive, filled with thoughts like, "I'm not good enough," or "I should have done better." This type of self-talk only reinforces feelings of shame and guilt, making it harder to move forward. Self-compassion involves speaking to yourself with the same kindness and understanding you would offer to a friend in distress. When you catch yourself being self-critical, pause and reframe your thoughts. Instead of saying, "I messed up again," try saying, "I made a mistake, but I am learning from it." By changing the tone of your internal dialogue, you create a healthier mindset that supports growth and healing. Kindness to yourself helps reduce the negative impact of challenges and builds emotional resilience. Remember, you are human, and being compassionate with yourself allows you to grow through adversity. Another key aspect of self-compassion is practicing mindfulness. Mindfulness involves being fully present in the moment, without dwelling on the past or worrying about the future. When we experience difficult emotions, it's easy to get swept away by them, often ruminating over what happened or fearing what's to come. Mindfulness allows us to step back and observe our thoughts and feelings without becoming overwhelmed by them. By practicing mindfulness, you learn to detach from negative thinking patterns and focus on the present. This enables you to acknowledge your emotions without getting lost in them. When you practice mindfulness during tough times, you create emotional distance, allowing yourself the space to respond with self-compassion, rather than reacting impulsively. Mindfulness helps you find peace amidst chaos by focusing your attention on the here and now. The fourth step in practicing self-compassion is embracing imperfection. We live in a world that often encourages perfectionism, where mistakes are seen as failures and flaws as weaknesses. However, self-compassion requires that we accept our imperfections and recognize them as part of being human. Embracing imperfection means letting go of the need to be perfect and allowing yourself to make mistakes without guilt or shame. When you accept your flaws and imperfections, you free yourself from the burden of unrealistic expectations. You begin to understand that perfection is an illusion, and that growth happens through mistakes. Embracing imperfection fosters a sense of inner peace and self-acceptance, allowing you to move forward without the weight of self-judgment. The fifth habit is giving yourself permission to rest. When life gets overwhelming, it's tempting to push through and keep going, even when our body and mind are crying out for rest. However, taking time to rest is an essential aspect of self-compassion. When you're feeling exhausted or drained, give yourself permission to pause, recharge, and recuperate. Rest isn't a luxury, it's a necessity for maintaining emotional and physical well-being. Resting allows you to restore your energy, regain clarity, and approach challenges with a fresh perspective. It's important to recognize that rest is not a sign of weakness, but a tool for resilience. Taking breaks and caring for yourself ultimately strengthens your ability to handle difficulties with grace and composure. Prioritizing rest helps you avoid burnout and allows you to face challenges with renewed strength. The sixth step is practicing self-forgiveness. Holding on to guilt and regret can be one of the most damaging obstacles to emotional healing. When we make mistakes or hurt others, it's natural to feel remorse. However, dwelling on these feelings for too long only hinders our growth. Self-forgiveness allows us to let go of past mistakes and move forward with compassion for ourselves. Forgiving yourself means recognizing that you're human and that you're doing the best you can with the knowledge and resources available to you at the time. Self-forgiveness doesn't mean excusing bad behavior, but rather understanding that you are allowed to learn from your mistakes and grow. When you forgive yourself, you release the heavy burden of guilt and make space for healing and growth. The seventh and final step in this part is surrounding yourself with positive influences. While self-compassion begins within, the people we surround ourselves with can have a significant impact on our ability to practice it. Being around supportive, understanding, and positive people fosters an environment where compassion can thrive. These individuals offer encouragement, understanding, and love, which can help you maintain a compassionate attitude toward yourself, even during difficult times. Surrounding yourself with positive influences also means setting boundaries with people who may drain your energy or offer negative criticism. Protecting your emotional space allows you to focus on your growth and well-being. Having a support system of like-minded individuals who encourage self-compassion can be an invaluable resource as you navigate life's challenges. Continuing from where we left off, another crucial step in practicing self-compassion is accepting your emotions without judgment. It's easy to fall into the trap of judging ourselves for feeling vulnerable or weak during difficult times. We might think, I shouldn't feel this way, or I should be stronger. However, emotional strength isn't about suppressing our emotions or pretending they don't exist. It's about acknowledging and accepting them as they are. When you can accept your emotions without judgment, you release the pressure to fix or change them and allow them to pass naturally. Emotional acceptance allows you to be kind to yourself in times of distress. When you experience negative emotions, don't berate yourself for having them. Instead, recognize that they are valid responses to challenging circumstances. Embracing emotional acceptance reduces the internal conflict that arises from resisting or denying your feelings, and it helps you create space for healing. This practice makes self-compassion not just a concept, but an active choice in how you respond to your emotional experience. The next practice is nurturing your inner dialogue. How we talk to ourselves has a profound impact on how we feel and how we move through difficult times. In moments of struggle, we often fall into negative self-talk, criticizing ourselves or reinforcing feelings of inadequacy. However, to cultivate self-compassion, it's essential to replace harsh self-criticism with kind and supportive language. When you make a mistake or face a setback, try speaking to yourself the way you would speak to a close friend. Offer yourself encouragement, understanding, and reassurance. By nurturing your inner dialogue, you create an environment in which self-compassion can flourish. A positive, kind, internal voice encourages resilience, fosters self-worth, and helps you navigate challenges with grace. Rather than focusing on flaws or shortcomings, use your inner dialogue to reinforce your strengths and remind yourself of your ability to overcome adversity. Over time, this practice helps rewire your thought patterns, making compassion an automatic response in difficult moments. Another powerful strategy is creating a self-compassion ritual. This ritual can be a daily practice or something you turn to during particularly challenging times. It might include activities that promote relaxation, reflection, or self-care, such as journaling, meditation, or spending time in nature. A simple practice like writing down 3 things you're grateful for each day or setting aside 10 minutes to practice deep breathing can have a profound impact on your emotional well-being. By creating a self-compassion ritual, you make self-care a priority. This ritual helps you stay grounded and connected to your values, offering a comforting reminder to be kind to yourself in times of difficulty. Whether you choose to meditate, practice yoga, or simply enjoy a quiet moment with a cup of tea, a consistent self-compassion ritual can be a powerful tool in your emotional toolbox. It helps you stay centered and calm, even in the face of adversity. The next key practice for building self-compassion is understanding that healing takes time. In our fast-paced, achievement-oriented society, we often expect quick results, especially when it comes to personal growth and emotional healing. But the truth is, healing is a process, not a destination. It takes time, patience, and ongoing effort. Whether you're healing from past trauma, dealing with current stress, or simply navigating life's ups and downs, it's important to be patient with yourself. When we rush the healing process, we set ourselves up for disappointment. Instead of trying to force progress, allow yourself the time and space you need to heal. Give yourself permission to take things one step at a time, knowing that progress is not always linear. Healing requires that you be gentle with yourself and allow for setbacks along the way. Trust that with time and consistent effort, you will find peace within and develop the strength to move through difficult times with grace. The seventh habit is cultivating emotional flexibility. Life rarely goes according to plan, and the ability to adapt emotionally is essential for building resilience. When you face setbacks or unexpected challenges, try to stay flexible in your emotional responses. Rather than rigidly holding on to a specific outcome or expectation, open yourself to the idea that things may unfold in different ways. Emotional flexibility allows you to move with the flow of life, rather than resisting change or holding on to what is no longer serving you. This doesn't mean accepting just any outcome, but rather adapting to the circumstances in a way that protects your emotional well-being. It's about learning to respond to challenges with openness, curiosity, and patience, knowing that everything will eventually fall into place. By practicing emotional flexibility, you build resilience and emotional strength, making it easier to stay calm, focused, and peaceful when life doesn't go as planned. Another important aspect of self-compassion is building emotional resilience. Resilience is the ability to bounce back from adversity and continue moving forward despite challenges. To build emotional resilience, focus on developing a mindset that sees challenges as opportunities for growth. When you face a setback or hardship, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I grow through this experience? Resilient individuals understand that setbacks are not failures. They are stepping stones on the path to personal growth and healing. Building emotional resilience takes practice. Start by acknowledging the difficulties you've overcome in the past and using them as reminders of your inner strength. Remind yourself of your capacity to persevere, even when things feel tough. As you build emotional resilience, you will become more equipped to handle future challenges with strength, patience, and self-compassion. The ninth habit is seeking help when needed. While self-compassion is a powerful tool for healing, it's important to recognize when you need additional support. Seeking help is not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of strength and self-awareness. Whether it's talking to a therapist, confiding in a trusted friend, or joining a support group, reaching out for help can provide the guidance and support you need to navigate difficult emotions. Sometimes, self-compassion involves allowing others to support you. We all need help at different times in our lives, and seeking support doesn't diminish your strength. It enhances it. By acknowledging when you need help, you show yourself the same kindness and understanding that you would show to others. The 10th habit is practicing acceptance. Acceptance is the ability to acknowledge things as they are, without trying to change or deny reality. When we practice acceptance, we stop resisting what we cannot control, and instead, we focus on what we can change. This doesn't mean giving up. It means releasing the need to control everything and trusting that things will unfold as they should. Acceptance allows you to live more peacefully and reduces the emotional strain of fighting against reality. In moments of struggle, practice saying to yourself, "It's okay to feel this way. This too shall pass." Acceptance creates emotional space, helping you feel more at peace with yourself and your circumstances. It allows you to step back, breathe, and approach challenges with a calm and open heart. Finally, the 12th habit is celebrating your progress. Healing and personal growth are ongoing processes, and it's important to acknowledge and celebrate the small victories along the way. Whether it's overcoming a difficult day, setting a healthy boundary, or practicing self-compassion in a challenging situation, take time to celebrate your achievements. Celebrating progress helps you stay motivated and reminds you of how far you've come. It reinforces the idea that healing is a journey, and each step you take brings you closer to inner peace.